The town of Red Hollow had a way of swallowing hope. Dust hung in the air like a permanent storm, clinging to skin and settling into the bones of everyone who dared call it home. Wooden buildings leaned like tired men, and the saloon piano never seemed to stop playing the same broken tune. Inside the sheriff's office, Clara Whitmore stood stiff, her hands clenched into fists at her sides. Across from her, Sheriff Dalton leaned back in his chair, boots resting on his desk, a folded paper in hand. "Your father owed a lot of money," he said plainly, "and he ain't here to pay it anymore." Clara's voice trembled, but her eyes didn't. "That doesn't make it my debt." Dalton smirked. "In Red Hollow, it does." Behind her, the door creaked open. Heavy footsteps echoed across the wooden floor. Everyone knew that walk. Clara didn't turn right away, but she felt it. The air shifted. Tense. Dangerous. When she finally looked, her breath caught. Cole Turner, the most feared gunslinger in 3 counties. Tall, broad-shouldered, a long coat dusted with sand, a revolver hanging low on his hip, like it belonged there more than anything else in the world. His face was carved from something harder than stone. No softness, no warmth, just survival. Sheriff Dalton grinned. Perfect timing. Cole didn't respond. His eyes flicked once toward Clara, then back to the sheriff. Dalton tossed a folded paper onto the desk. "Whitmore debt. Big one. I've got a solution." Cole's jaw tightened slightly. "Not interested." "You will be," Dalton said calmly. "Girl's got no way to pay. No land. No money." Clara stepped forward. "I'm right here. You can speak to me." Dalton ignored her. Instead, he leaned forward, voice dropping. "Marry her. Debt's cleared." The room went still. Clara blinked. "What?" Cole's eyes snapped toward the sheriff. "That ain't funny." "I'm not joking," Dalton said. "You take her, you get the land deed her father left behind. Small but decent. Clears the books. Everybody wins." "I don't win anything," Clara shot back. Cole looked at her again, really looked this time. She wasn't like most women in Red Hollow. No fear in her eyes. Just anger. Fire. He didn't like it. Didn't need it. Didn't want complications. "I don't marry," Cole said flatly. Dalton shrugged. "Then I send her to work off the debt another way." Silence. Heavy. Suffocating. Clara felt her stomach drop. She knew exactly what that meant. Cole did too. His jaw tightened again. For a moment, he said nothing. Then, "Fine." Clara's head snapped toward him. "You can't be serious." Cole didn't look at her. "Tomorrow," he said. "Get it done." Dalton smiled like he'd just closed the deal. Clara stared at Cole, disbelief burning through her. "You don't even know me." Finally, he met her gaze. Cold, distant, don't need to. And just like that, her fate was sealed. The wedding took less than 10 minutes. No flowers, no music, no joy, just a preacher, a witness, and a contract disguised as vows. Clara stood beside Cole, her hands trembling, not from fear, but from rage she refused to show. When the preacher said, "You may kiss," Cole stepped back. "That won't be necessary." The preacher cleared his throat awkwardly and closed the book. "Then you're married." Just like that. No love, no choice, no escape. Cole's cabin sat miles outside town, perched near the edge of dry land that stretched endlessly into the horizon. It wasn't much. 1 room, a small kitchen, a bed against the wall, a table with 2 chairs that looked like they'd never been used together. Clara stepped inside slowly, taking it in. "This is it?" she asked. Cole walked past her, setting his hat on a hook. "It's enough." "For one person," she replied. He didn't answer. Instead, he grabbed a canteen and took a long drink. Clara crossed her arms. "So what now?" "You stay out of my way," he said. "I'll stay out of yours." "That's your plan for marriage?" Cole glanced at her briefly. "This ain't a marriage. It's a deal." Her eyes hardened. "Not to me?" He didn't respond. Didn't argue. Didn't care. Or at least, that's what he wanted her to believe. That night, Clara lay on the bed. Cole sat outside. Neither slept much. Days turned into weeks. The tension never left. But something shifted. Clara refused to be silent. She cleaned the cabin, cooked meals Cole never asked for, fixed things that had been broken long before she arrived. At first, Cole ignored it. Then he noticed. One evening, he walked in to find the table set. 2 plates, 2 cups. He stared at it for a long moment. Clara didn't look up. Food's getting cold. I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask to be here, she replied calmly. Yet here we are. Cole hesitated, then sat. It was the first time they ate together. No words, just quiet. But it wasn't empty anymore. Another day, a storm rolled in. Harsh winds, heavy rain. Clara struggled to secure the shutters. Cole watched for a moment, then stepped in, wordlessly helping. Their hands brushed once. Both pulled back quickly. But something lingered, something neither wanted to name. Weeks later, Clara found him injured. A bullet grazed along his side. You didn't tell me, she said, anger masking concern. Didn't need to. You could have died. Cole shrugged. Didn't. Clara grabbed supplies, her hand steady as she cleaned the wound. You're stubborn, she muttered. You talk too much. She glanced up at him. And yet, here I am, keeping you alive. For the first time, Cole almost smiled. Trouble didn't knock. It rode in with guns drawn. 3 men arrived at the cabin one afternoon. Outlaws, and they weren't there by accident. Clara saw them first. Cole. Too late. The door burst open. Turner, one of them sneered. Thought you could disappear? Cole stepped forward slowly. Leave, he said, while you still can. They laughed, not without settling things. Clara's heart pounded. She grabbed a rifle, hand shaking but determined. When the first shot fired, everything changed. The fight was fast, violent. Gunfire echoed across the land. Clara stayed behind cover. But when one man moved toward Cole from behind, she fired. The man dropped. Silence followed. Cole turned, breathing hard. His eyes locked onto hers. You shot him. Clara lowered the rifle, her hands trembling. He was going to kill you. For a long moment, neither spoke. Then Cole stepped closer. You shouldn't have done that. Her voice broke slightly. I wasn't going to watch you die. Something shifted again, deeper this time, irreversible. That night felt different. No distance, no pretending. Clara sat by the fire, Cole across from her. You could leave, he said suddenly. Debt's gone. You're free. She looked at him. Is that what you want? Cole didn't answer right away. Then, I don't want you hurt because of me. Clara stood slowly, stepping closer. I was hurt long before you, she said softly, but I stayed. Why? Her eyes met his. Because somewhere along the way, this stopped being a deal. Silence. Heavy. Real. Cole stood too. Close now. Too close. You don't know what you're choosing, he said quietly. Then tell me. He didn't. Instead, he reached for her. Slow. Careful. Like she might disappear. And when he finally kissed her, it wasn't forced. It wasn't part of any deal. It was real. Morning came with danger. More riders. More guns. Cole knew this wouldn't end unless he ended it. I have to finish this, he said. Clara grabbed his arm. Then I'm coming with you. No. Yes. Their eyes locked. This time he didn't argue. The final confrontation happened at Red Hollow, in the same town where it all began. But this time, they stood together. Shots rang out. Dust filled the air. And when it was over, the past was buried. For good. Weeks later, the land looked different. Brighter. Alive. Clara stood outside the cabin, watching the horizon. Cole walked up beside her. Quiet as always, but not distant anymore. You stayed, he said. She smiled slightly. You gave me a reason to. He nodded. Then, after a moment, wasn't supposed to turn out like this. Clara glanced at him. No, she said softly. It turned out better. Cole took her hand. Not out of obligation. Not out of debt. But because he wanted to. And in a land where everything was taken, they had found something rare. Something real.